Previously, as we talked in the last video, we talked about the cell cycle. So this yellow piece right here would be considered the interphase part, which includes gap 1, synthetic cycle, and the gap 2. And then this pink part right here includes prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. That's mitosis. And then on the outside is the cytokinesis. And then as we move on, down here is interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Those are all the cycles as their image. And then we have cytokinesis, which is where they split apart. And now we have the cancer part. Cancer is just a result of an uncontrolled cell division, and this happens usually when cells ignore signals to stop shrinking and keep expanding. And then we have the benign tumors and the malignant tumors. Benign tumors are just the non-cancerous part, and they all stay in one place, whereas the malignant tumors are part of the cancerous, and they also can invade or break apart. Secondly, we have the characteristics of the cancer cells, which is the lack of differentiation, abnormal nuclei. They do not undergo apoptosis, forms tumors, and undergoes metastasis and stimulates angiogenesis. So the first one, it's just where they don't develop into specialized cells like the muscle or nerve cells, and they result in where they can't perform like a normal function. The second one, abnormal nuclei. They're just enlarged, irregular, and often contain extra chromosomes, and they show DNA or the DNA instability. And then the third one would be do not undergo apoptosis, which is just where they ignore signals to self-destruct when damaged. And then 4 is form tumors, which would be masses of rapidly dividing cells that push against or damage tissues. 5 will be undergoes metastasis, which is just they break away and travel to other parts of the body through the blood or the lymph. And then the 6th part would be stimulate angiogenesis. They just cause new blood vessels to form while bringing nutrients to feed the tumor. And then we have the genetic origins of cancer. The first one is the tumor suppressor genes. They literally just act as a brake, and they stop cells from the cycle or the trigger repair. Then we have proto-oncogenes, which would be just normal genes that are stimulated into cell division. And then we got telomeres, which are protective DNA ends that shorten division, leading to mortality. Then we have cell signaling pathways, which is stimulatory and inhibitory. First thing about the stimulatory would be growth factors that bind. They just bind to a receptor on the cell membrane, and they activate onto the proto-oncogenes and promote cell division, whereas if they were to be muted, the pathway would stay on even without signals and uncontrolled growth. On the inhibitory side, it would be tumors just suppressing proteins, normally block divisions or trigger repairs, and then if those were muted, the inhibitions would be lost and they would damage cell division freely. And lastly, we have the causes of cancer, which is inherited viruses and radiations. On the inherited side, some people are just born with detective genes. In the middle would be the virus, which is just inserting their DNA into other genes. And then radiations would be just like sunlight or the UV from the sunlight and X rays.